Good evening and welcome to another moment of self-care. Tonight I wanted to talk about, as cliche as it is, affirmations, because affirmations are an incredibly powerful tool. And when we allow ourselves to use them in our lives, they really can help us remake our whole world. This is not something I'm pulling out of my airy-fairiness or out of, if you believe it enough, it'll happen. It's actually scientifically proven that affirmations can help rewrite yourself, your mind, your neurological pathways in your brain, which will then change the effects that you're putting out into the world around you. So when you work on yourself, when you start saying things to yourself in a positive manner, it's important to remember to say them in a positive way you believe. So if you are trying to work on your self-image and seeing yourself with love, if you look in a mirror and you look at yourself and you say, I am beautiful, the key piece of that is to believe it. If part of you goes, oh, you're so full of crap, you're the ugliest person in the world, whenever you say that to yourself, guess what? You've all of a sudden done as much harm as you were trying to do good. So the key piece is to work with something that you believe. And when you're writing or creating affirmations for yourself, if you're struggling with a topic and you don't know how to get around it, you say things like, I am willing to be beautiful, or I'm willing to see myself as beautiful. So people tend to be less reluctant to say things on that line. They tend to be more open-minded. And eventually, when you say, I'm willing to see myself as beautiful, that feels really strong and truthful. And when you are willing to see yourself as beautiful, then you could say, I am beautiful. And that will actually be true. And that will ripple out. And that will create confidence in yourself. And that will create the strength. And it will, again, create these neurological pathways in your brain. Now, just like a jungle pathway, you don't create a path without walking through on a consistent basis and cleaning it. You have to chop away at the vines and the plants that are growing in your way. You have to slowly clear it and widen it, and then it becomes an actual path. The neurological paths in our brain, the way we think, it's the same. The first time you do something, your neurons in your mind are kind of like resistant and aren't exactly sure how to process the information and push through with it. And the next time it's a little bit easier, and the next time it's a little bit easier. It's the same when we're learning a new skill set. So as you are doing affirmations, you are creating this quick superhighway in your brain for your neurons to fire. Easily, they will believe the things you're saying, and they will create the truth in that. So I can talk about the science until I'm blue in the face about affirmations. You can go and Google. There have been studies in some of the major universities and research centers in the world trying to understand why this happens. They've even hooked people up to those brain scanning machines and watched certain parts of the brain light up when they got them to do certain kinds of affirmation work. And the key is to know its truth. When your self-talk comes in and goes, no, 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 pay attention to that and tweak the affirmation so it is true and the self-talk doesn't counteract it. The other key of that is to also allow yourself to visualize the future, to allow yourself to know when you are doing your affirmation work, to take another moment and think about, I am beautiful, and what that would look like in your life, and the interactions you would have with another person and with your coworkers and with your friends. And as you're sharing that kind of interaction with the world around you and you're visualizing it, that in itself will, bam, boost that out much, much faster and much further. A thing you can do if you struggle with saying them in front of the mirror is to write them. Write them out on paper. There is a lovely challenge, which is you write one affirmation 50 times for 5 days. And I think or maybe it's 55 for 5. It's the 55 for 5 challenge. And it's a wonderful way to really hammer that affirmation into you if you struggle with saying it in front of a mirror, or it's a way to disengage that inner dialogue that wants to reverse everything that you're saying. So there's a lot of ways and tactics that you can do it, but writing is also a very effective way to really hone in those affirmations and really push that into the truth of it. Another thing to consider is it's got to be an affirmation you want. If someone else is nagging you to lose weight and you should lose weight, and guess what, all those skinny girls are the ones that get the dates, and you know, if you lost weight, you'd be able to get that job. And if that's going on and on and on in your head, and you feel like you have to lose weight because everyone's telling you to, those weight loss affirmations will not be as effective as if you were saying, I want to lose weight because I choose to. If you're doing it for yourself, it's more of a conscious choice and less of a threat. If you feel threatened to do something, it will not be as effective when you start to do the work around it. There will be much more resistance, and there will be more negative thoughts happening in regards to that. And we're trying to rewrite you with positive thoughts, positive energy. When you get the negative thoughts in there, it really becomes a tricky balance of, you know, overpowering that and moving you forward. So when you're looking at your affirmations, focus on yourself. Try to phrase them in the I am. And as I mentioned before, if you're struggling with the I am, do I am willing. I am willing to. I am willing to open. I am becoming. Then you can be I am. I am beautiful. I struggled with that for a long time. So I used to say, I am willing to see myself as beautiful. And I felt better saying, I am becoming a beautiful person. So these are things that you can open yourself up to. If you're struggling in an area in your life, use the I am willing and I am becoming if you're getting a lot of resistance in your thoughts. Another thing, if you don't know how to write affirmations, if you're not sure how to do it, make sure you say them in the positive and the active. I am open and ready to receive. Everything I need is provided for before I even realize there's a need for it. I love the life that I live, and I create more to be excited about. There's lots of things that you can create affirmations around and do, and there's so much information about them online. So rewrite your world, use affirmations, the science is behind it, and I am excited to see you glow as a person and grow in your beauty and in your affirmations and in yourself. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I'm looking forward to sharing another wonderful self-care moment with you tomorrow.